hate to break the fishing news after Remchuk, but I'd like to speak about the ice hockey.
Congratulations. You're one of the 13 listeners of the Real Life Podcast.
We just traded a migraine in for like an orgasm.
Might want to mark that down.
Yep.
All of my projects are on schedule until they're not.
A member of the Nation Network of Podcasts.
About as funny as we're going to get today.
The Oilers are back. Back where? Just in a general sense, it feels like they're back.
Never in doubt.
Back at 500 by December 11th, hey?
Never in doubt.
Hey, I did say on O&E, I posed the question, when do you think they'll be back 500 going into this weekend? You said it would be like later in the week, and I said, how about on Monday morning?
And sure as shit, that's exactly what they did. We're once again back at the point where, granted, I wasn't alone this year, but Wanye, I know you'll laugh. Every year I have one freak out. I'm good
American
for one,
Thanksgiving.
I'm good for one freak out about this. I have a tweet from like the end of October being like, it's painful watching the Connor McDavid era unravel.
I remember I went home and like stared at the wall and that was over. And I was
Seems a little foolish in hindsight.
No, because I'm like, if you're Remchuk saying this, he probably has some intel.
It captured the moment.
It was all of us, though. Even on ONR. Like, when do we ever see Rick as down and out as he was?
And now Rick is running around being like, no room for people who jumped off the bandwagon.
Fair
And I'm
enough.
like, Rick, you sat in the chair I'm in right now with like borderline tears in your eyes.
Yeah, he stayed on the bag. He was just in the corner, like in deep mope. Whoa,
He stood across the street.
That's what I wanted to fix. Sorry, guys.
As the house across the street, your Remchuk was being ripped down by he stood there and watched the thing get torn down, like in an Oilers related shame spiral. And I was like, damn, that's crazy. He's watching a 1903 house get ripped down, covered in shame. It was so
funny.
It was an emotional.
He's a beaten man.
I said 7 games ago they're just going to win 7 straight, and they'll be nobody in their right mind thought they were going to win 7 straight. Nobody thought they'd get in that valley. No one thought they'd get out of that valley that quick.
Just
It was
a 10-game
interesting.
heater.
Like, over the weekend, they were essentially a point or two off from exactly where they were at the same point last year.
Just a different path.
And that's a really good East team too. That we just played yesterday.
And Carolina. There's a couple of good teams.
Yeah. But
Minnesota was hot.
Manhandled them yesterday.
Yeah.
There was not that many shots on net right away.
Mm-mm. Calvin Pickard stepping up to
He
play.
played
Come
great,
on, man.
man. It was
awesome.
sad to see that one go in because it sure would have been nice.
Well, that was
for
a
him to get the
great
donut.
goal.
Yeah, it's not much you could do about that one.
Yeah.
I do wonder though, like all the media were kind of being like, Jack's coming back. They're going to give him another tour of duty. Why?
It also shows kind of how damaged we are that the backup starts. And my first thought is, well, they might have to score 7 to win tonight. This is not good. Not good. And then you're like, oh, wait. He's just like a competent professional goalie. Like it shows you how far below Jack Campbell was.
It's so true. There's a couple things from that game yesterday, but Jack Campbell coming back. When I heard that, like, I think even Reed Wilkins, somebody else said that.
Yeah.
I just was also in the same campus.
It's
like,
not happening, is it?
What's the point?
Well,
like,
can now.
what would be the point? Unless he absolutely lit fire down there, like playing out of his mind. Do you bring him back for another stint?
Chalmers, there is no Vezina in the AHL. Do you know why?
No,
Because it don't matter.
because it don't matter.
Is there trophies in the
Doesn't
AHL?
matter.
Is there top go?
I mean,
there is a Vezina trophy for the AHL?
It's got to be something. Maybe
Somebody
There's a fancy
deserves
name.
something.
Awards, yeah.
It's a full league.
So I was at the game yesterday, and I walked in the door.
I've got it real quick. Sorry.
Okay.
The Baz Bastian
continued.
Memorial Award is for the AHL best goaltender.
Oh, shit. He got that Baz Bastion.
They also do a linesman of the year.
Oh, finally.
The Tyler Yaremchuk
A
Memorial.
linesman of a year? Ref awards?
Refs were in one yesterday too.
Oh my God. I said this on
Jack
the
Hughes is a pro diver.
That, but also like the Heischer slash on Kane was a terrible call. There was another power play the Oilers got. I think it was the one where
The hooking?
someone tripped Cece, and I was like, that's not a penalty. Lazar tripped Cece, and he didn't touch him. The refs were, yeah.
So they missed a Connor McDavid cross check behind the net.
A great one too on Ryan
A
McLeod's
great
brother.
one.
Well, it was
Ryan
right. It
McLeod's
was
brother.
right in front of the ref.
That should have been a penalty.
was
And
very
then right
funny.
when the play came back down, I looked at the people I was sitting with, and I'm like, there's going to be a makeup call, and immediately, hardly even a hook, and Matisse Janmark is going, Ekholm is going to the penalty box. And I'm like, dude, like that wasn't
So
even
then-
close to a penalty.
Yeah. So then
And it's fine.
So then the
It's
cross check
fine.
was
I
called.
wasn't- Yep. So I wasn't rattled about that, but there was a couple times too when the crowd erupts, and you're just kind of like, that's not a penalty. We shouldn't be worried. That's definitely not a penalty. That's just a hockey play. I didn't think they were that bad. I mean, the puck going, the first goal that was reversed, when you see it in super slow-mo, their own player puts it in.
Yeah, but Kane definitely hit the goalie.
Yeah, it was skate on skate.
Yeah. You kind of have to call that back then.
Kind of. Like when I saw the replay, I'm like, nah, that one's coming.
We were trying to watch it and just like kind of trying to make sense of it. And, it's funny when you don't have like Louie and Jack to kind of help you break it down and you're sitting there trying to break it down yourself. You're not
there?
totally sure. Yeah. What you're looking at. Right. And so, yeah,
I had more of a problem with the second one. It didn't get called back, but it was just waved no goal. What would that have been in the third period where they were kind of hacking away?
Oh yeah,
that was just laying there open. There's no reason that play should.
Well, they say that he pushed the goalie across the crease or something.
Yeah,
but it was like their own guy that scored it.
Yeah,
it's very confusing.
Very, very odd.
How about Connor Brown having a goal?
Connor Brown can't buy one.
Will he ever find?
He's just
fuck, man.
No.
And like the look on his face, the fist pump celebration.
So
too.
good. The high fives, all the team.
Draisaitl gave him like a big smack on the ass.
Oh,
two game things. Did anybody notice that every dump in they made was on the goalie? Like they weren't putting it in the corners. They were always putting it on the goalie. Is he a bad puck? Like bad at playing the puck?
Well, after the way he fumble fucked it on McDavid's goal. Like,
yeah, that was.
He froze. His controller disconnected. He was
he's like, what am I doing here? And
how
like,
am I in this league?
Fighting. But it was actually Kane that got that out front, which is nice to see. But yeah, they kept dumping it on him. And I was just like, is that a. Anyways, the second thing. Our penalty kill, that aggressive box
lights
was
out right now.
Unbelievable.
Elite.
It is. They couldn't even
stop
a nice aggressive box. Favorite.
Yeah.
They couldn't get anything going. They couldn't even control the puck because we were on them.
Which is amazing because the Devils, I'm doing off the dome, but their power play was like 34%.
Only power play in the league above 30% this year was the Devils.
Right. And so like a normal power play is like 4 players, obviously in a box formation. You each get your quadrant. It's like a zone defense, right? Yeah. We were not playing that. One of our forwards was running and the other one was supporting, going to wherever he wasn't, right? So they would never get caught in the same position, right? So the guy, if you were playing left forward, you could find yourself following the defenseman or following the forward to the right side, and the other forward would know it. But they were doing it a lot. Like it wasn't just stick to your quadrant, which I kind of like because it helps make it more aggressive. Because now,
would you say Coach Knob knows a good box?
I guess he knows a great box. Knobby knows box.
I'm a knob gobbler. He knows.
Mm-hmm. So the other thing about the game, I walked in the door. And I saw one of the nicest surprises I'd seen. And I ran into Wanye and Wanye Jr.
Thuggin.
Undefeated in the Wanye Jr. era.
Undefeated in the Wanye Jr. era. First hockey game. You're going to tell us about
it. We walked right through the door and you're the first person we saw.
I know. And so tell us about the purchase you made before you walked in the door.
So we have a video. We made a video. So this is going to be a video. But the audio version of the video is as follows. We're like, hey, we're going to go to the game. We're going to go get him his jersey. So we go into the store. I've yet to see the store. I wanted to see it for the first time when he saw it. First of all, Oilers store, unbelievable. Yeah, like Uncle Rick on the outside window, huge beginning.
I'm on the wall twice. On the inside, there's 2 pictures of me in there.
Come on, how?
Cheering goals. Woo.
Really?
Me and my dad. It's the only photo of me and my dad that exists. Anyways, keep going.
Unbelievable. What a moment.
It's a nice first one.
Amazing story, though. Like seeing the dressing room doors and shit. Like I'm sure everybody's seen it, but I hadn't seen it. So I'm still blown away. So we take Wanye Jr. to the wall of jerseys for kids. And I'm like, I want him to pick his own jersey. And he walks up, looks around, puts his hand right into the middle of the rack and pulls out a Vinny Desharnais 1-of-1 4-year-old jersey.
I was wondering. I'm like, did Uncle Rick get that for him?
No. It's like McDavid, Draisaitl, Vinny D, and he just puts his hand in and pulls it out on the fly.
Love it.
So the first of all, when it's that little, the D in Desharnais on his elbow, and the S is Desharnais on his S, right? So he picks that out and he immediately puts it on, and this is his move now. So I respect that he goes with a role-playing D-man like Vinny Desharnais.
That's real fan. Exactly.
You're never going to regret. But like, why does that jersey exist?
Why not?
No, but like, they don't have a jersey
size.
Maybe for real.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you want the smallest Vinny D jersey or the largest?
Yeah. Rick just ordered the wrong size. Had to go somewhere. Back on the rack.
So he was pumped for that, and then we have all the video of him going through the day. So it'll be really fun.
I'm excited to see the video, but like also funny what kids enjoy of the hockey game. Like what were his favorite parts?
Well, popcorn. He was dialed in. But
my favorite part too.
We were really lucky. We were able to get seats for Uncle Carrie. We were sitting in the loge because I knew he was going to be an active member of participant. I'm sure Crawford was the same way. Like, there's no chance this kid's sitting in a seat.
No.
No.
So by 10 minutes into the second period, he's underneath the table watching the wiggles on my cell phone and eating popcorn.
Hell yeah.
He was just a little bit too overstimulated. Like the earphones were on and shit. But he was extraordinarily pumped up about Little Hunter.
Like that.
So
There was Hunter, and then there was Little Hunter.
It was next gen day.
Hunter brought his boy to the game.
So Little Hunter is here, Dad.
Bring
Little
your
like
son to work
me.
day.
He said, like he gets it. Like there's Hunter and Little Hunter like me.
Next Gen
That's
Day
adorable.
was a top-notch
Yep.
idea, and the performance of the kids
Yep.
in that building.
I couldn't. So obviously, I'm watching at home, but I could only hear the kid doing the goal announcements in the arena.
Yep,
Nailed it.
unbelievable.
11-year-old anthem singer
She
too.
was unbelievable.
How do you have the
incredible.
balls to sing at
I
11?
couldn't wrap my head around how good of a singer she
No.
was.
Her timing, like
Yeah.
like usually when kids get nervous and they're out there and they're like singing, they start to speed up and they start. She was perfect. Like she was great.
Stone Pony.
But like they even had an in-game host, like sidekick, like a kid. He was great.
Yep.
Nailed t-shirt toss. Like
Oh,
he
yeah.
did great. But when the little guy up in the booth did the starting lineups, was the kind of the first time we had heard him. He was just automatic. Like I don't know where they found these kids.
I feel like they brought them in from
professional.
Hollywood and shit.
They were
Those aren't
incredible.
Edmonton
Yeah.
They're
kids.
Mickey Mouse kids.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
are.
Yeah. So
And
it's
then-
a really cool thing they're doing for kids. Like that's a really cool program. If
Memory
they
of a
keep
lifetime.
That up.
Oh, for
yeah,
sure.
Memory of a lifetime. But to do it for as far as I know, that's the first time to get each and every kid in a position and absolutely nail it.
Yeah.
Bravo. Great job.
They were
I got
really
two.
well
I got
done.
two rules for my acting career, Chalmers. I work with kids and
Yep.
I work with animals.
Nope, that's-
so to have a whole thing based
You
on
and
kids.
Christian Bale.
But when they opened the box at center ice and out came Hunter and Mini Hunter, Wanye Jr. laid an egg of excitement
So his name was Kit. And he was actually played
by a kid
by a 12-year-old kid.
who was
Inside.
unbelievable too.
He was also interviewed by Gene Principe.
Like the
during
mascot?
intermission.
The mascot was a 12-year-old
Did he
kid.
talk?
Mascot was a 12-year-old kid?
yeah,
Kid's
Mini
name-
Hunter.
Yeah, he was
Not talking though, right?
He
In the
was
interview.
a goaltender. No,
No.
oh wait, in the interview.
Gene interviewed him in the intermission, and he was just giving thumbs up and thumbs down.
Yes, good. Master of his craft.
And so
Or her
Hunter, you know, when you see him on down low, he slides down the rail, and then he gets to the bottom, and he's like trying to coax this kid. We can't really. Then all of a sudden, this kid comes sliding down the rail. It was awesome, and then they do their whole little
And then
performance.
he
It
had
was
his
cool.
low drum, and then the kid had a high drum. So doon doon ding ding. It was funny.
I love it.
It was a great job by the Oilers.
Yeah.
Like really, really well done.
I saw Hunter get assaulted a couple games ago.
Come on, by
What?
What?
like
That is very, yes. Unpack that quickly.
Hunter walking down the steps right next to me, drunk guy, section over 2 rows up, trying to get his attention, takes off his hat and rifles it at Hunter, hits Hunter in the head. And then Hunter's handler just boom, right on the scene. And they had like a little, like, you tell the
I'm
hands.
surprised someone in the crowd didn't knock that guy out.
I was stunned. I almost wanted to. And so him and his handler, like, to like put his ear like right up to his mouth, and they had like a little back and forth, like, what do you want to do with this guy? And Hunter gave him his hat back and was a good sport and
Wow.
shook his fist. And the guy was whatever.
Bad
Shame.
vibes.
That was bad vibes.
Ripped his hat at Hunter and hit him like boom.
You do
Hunter
not.
rules. I love Hunter.
Yes, I love
Yeah.
Hunter too.
yeah, he does a good job.
He
His
does,
thing,
and
like
seeing
you're
him through a
describing,
kid's
where he
eyes.
slides down. I love it. Every time I love it.
So I don't know what we were all doing, but we all noticed him come down the rail now at the other kind of end of that side. And he damn near went through the glass. He was
Yeah,
going
he
so
comes
fast.
down hot.
He was coming down so hot, had to stop himself on his feet. We're all like, whoa, did you see him? I don't think he meant to be going that fast.
They've got those double railings in some sections,
Yeah, it's
and
just-
those are
it's
like
just-
Hunter super highways, right? Like
There's 4 of them. It's just like where it separates the middle from now the bend.
Yeah.
And
Club seats from not club
Yeah.
seats.
so
The rich from the poor.
damn, you're only an end colonnade.
what side of the double rail are
There's
you?
barbed wire on it all of a sudden, eh?
There's barbed wire. Yeah,
Can we
Like
go over
soccer
there?
stadiums, they just chain link fence it off.
Yeah, here it's just an elitist thing.
Yeah.
Top tier game though,
hell
and
of an
then a
experience.
victory.
Hell of a game yesterday. Oilers played well.
That is the
That was so
second
fun.
best NHL game I've ever been to in my life. I love my son, but Game 6 is Game 6.
Yeah, of
Let's be
course.
fucking real.
Of
I mean,
course.
I don't want to lie about it.
No.
But
you gotta
this
be
was
honest.
number 2.
Yeah. I think he'll get it. He'll get it.
Above a game 6?
He'll get it.
He'll get it.
Yeah. Well, he's got the Vinny Darren jersey, so he's going to be a good Oilers fan, so he'll respect it.
I would hope.
Because then he'll know you're lying if you said it was number 1.
I could see him sitting there like processing and just sort of taking everything in. I was like, oh, I hope this is taking right now. And this is one of his things that makes him excited. Because like your first few experiences with something, if you go to an Oilers game and you get a bad hot dog or something, or you go to an Oilers game. I remember I went to a Trappers game, got a bad hot dog. I'm like, I'll never go back. I was like 6. Like
I had a large human fall on me once at a Trappers game.
Did you ever go back?
Yeah. But I was like 4 or 5, and I had forgotten about this until this summer when my sister told me, and the memory like flooded back. It was kind of weird.
PTSD stuff.
There was like a foul ball coming, and this large human fell over top and on top of me, and like the medics had to come like ask me what time and day it was, and I was so little.
When you woke up, you knew all the statistics of the Trappers, and that's your origin
but I didn't
story.
know like my days because I was like 4 or 5. So they were like, what day is it? And I just started crying. And then when my sister told me that, I was like, oh my God, I remember all of this. That's really damaging.
See, thank God that didn't happen to Wanye Jr.
That's how he became claustrophobic.
Yeah. And that's why to this day, I don't chase foul balls.
Yeah. And that's why to this day, he can't sit in the 3rd row of an SUV. the minute those seats go back, it's
people who are claustrophobic do get claustrophobic back there.
I can't get in them.
Yeah, well, there you
Really?
go.
Nope. Can't do it.
I didn't know you were claustrophobic.
Oh, yeah,
Won't do
can't.
the 3rd row.
What if it's like not like if it's bench, if it's like a 2nd row bench, 3rd row bench, I get it.
SUV?
No,
but if
so
it's
like
a captain's
when you
chair
lean,
to the
no, okay, captain's chair is okay.
Yeah.
If it's captain's chair, that's okay.
yeah, because that's
but
a
there's
corridor.
not very many 3rd rows that are have a captain's chair. So when you pull the seat back and you get through the door and you get into the back and then that seat snaps down, that's anxiety.
Really?
I was like, you're stuck
very
back there.
hardcore anxiety.
No.
Yeah, I do not like it. I can't sit center. I basically can't sit window or middle seat of an airplane either too, because when the
You have to be aisle?
Yeah, have to be aisle.
So
When
would
the
you be
aisle-
claustrophobic if we buried you like 100 feet under the earth like Mr. Beast in a coffin?
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if
You
that
wouldn't handle that well?
that would
though,
trigger
right?
you?
Yeah.
That would trigger claustrophobia?
And okay, so when they put down the tray, if I'm in the middle or aisle seat or in the window seat or middle seat, and the person on the aisle puts down their tray, I feel trapped immediately.
Yeah.
I know it's really weird, but it's very
The fact that you're just in a cylinder in the sky.
flying death
with
cylinder.
Nowhere to
I
go.
need to know I can stand up at any time. I need to know that I can move. Like
I'm not
or else
claustrophobic,
I-
and I've had moments in planes where it just dawns on me that I'm 30,000 feet in the air, and there's like a thin metal wall between us, and there are ice cubes in my drink, but I don't know if I should be up here.
Somebody, and I don't know, this is getting like a little deep into the psyche of me, who used to be called psycho as a child.
Let's go to the bottom of the ocean.
But somebody once was like, I think that might be why you like sandals so much. And I was like,
Foot claustrophobia?
then I started to think about it. And like when I'm in a movie theater or in an airplane, if I think about my feet and like that they're hot or uncomfortable, I start to get anxious. And I need to get them off. It's very weird.
If I think about my feet.
If I think about my feet and then being hot and trapped inside my shoes and I can't take them off, I need to get them off.
Now, on long haul travel, I like to take my shoes off, but that's just to like let my body breathe.
Well,
Not because
I think if
I'm
I was on a
like-
long haul, I'd wear Crocs.
Decent idea.
See, that's why I most likely wear sandals always on a plane or when I'm driving in a car and I need to take a long road trip. Doesn't matter if it's winter, I'm wearing sandals in the car.
Gotta let the dogs breathe.
It's just super comfortable. But I also do know exactly where this came from too. When I was like 8 years old.
That you're the guy that fell on your Ramcheck at the Trappers game?
No, I was not underneath your Remchuck with that guy.
You got trapped at a
Nobody
Trappers
was
game?
helping
Seems
me
on
because
brand.
They were helping me Remchuck. No, we moved into a brand new house and we had what they call like bench seats in front of the window. And so you'd have a lid on the bench seat. And so we were playing hide and go seek and I got in the bench seat and my sister sat on top of it.
Yeah.
And was like, oh, I don't know where he is, knowing I was in there. And
that shit ain't
I
funny
was
at a
trying
point.
to get out and she would not get up. And it was probably like 15, 20 seconds. It felt like a lifetime. And I have never been able to shake it. And it's
But like
weird.
in all applications of life, like normally you would just be like traumatized to see a bench seat.
No, I just got I just get
claustrophobia.
It just triggered claustrophobia. It just triggered being like confined. I just don't like it. And like even when I'm sitting aisle, I like have to have one of my feet out just because like I know that I can get out at any moment if I need to.
I remember playing Red Rover one time in elementary school, and I was like maybe like grade 1, grade 2. And somehow or other, I found myself on the side of a little hill with a kid sitting on me. And like he would not get off. And there reached a point. Well, there reached a point where I'm going to run out of fucking 6-year-old lung air. Yeah. Right. And this fat kid was sitting on top of me, and it was the end of days. Yeah. And I remember being like, I'm going to die. I'm going to die in the field. I'm going to die on this hill. And then he finally stood up, and I was like, and I was running out of air, man. Yeah. And that shit sticks with you if you're a little kid, because especially if you don't have like just a moment of sheer panic, whatever triggers that for you. I fell off a chairlift once too. The Strawberry Hill at Sunshine.
Wow.
It was the little.
How high are we talking?
10 feet.
That's pretty high.
I got on.
Dude, heli skiing does not look easy because they probably jump from like 12, 15 feet.
I think that's like the extreme. I think in most cases they land, don't they?
Or they just like hover right over.
I thought these just jumped out.
Or maybe
sometimes they do.
If it's powdery.
I think
well, then like
a Warren Miller film, yes.
Skiing up that high in a mountain is difficult as the best of times, let alone worrying about the fucking snow piling on you.
I know. Could you imagine if you hella skied, but when you jumped out, you like caught an edge and then you just ended up rolling down most of the mountain? You're like, well, that was not worth it.
And you're 1 mitts at the top.
There ain't no stopping you either.
No.
Yeah, I know, man. Power momentum.
I can't believe the 10 feet off a chairlift. That's nightmare fuel.
I always play the
game.
game.
Not like
I fell into a tree.
I have to like really keep my mind off of looking down or thinking about the chairlift.
Anytime the chairlift stops, I always play the game. I look down and I'll say, would you?
Would you?
Would you?
No.
And if you get caught there, they lower you down with a rope. It is not an easy excavation.
At Marmot, I got caught on the knob chair.
That's because that one gets high.
That one is very high. And I just remember sitting there for about 30 minutes, let's say.
Not cool.
Longest 30 minutes.
And it's
ever,
a very uncomfortable chair.
Swaying.
You know what I hope? Because we're talking about this right now, is that I get the posts on Instagram of like where the chairlifts get turned up to like 10 speed and
go backwards,
and they can't stop them, and people are just flying off them at the bottom. Have you ever seen those videos?
No.
It's insane.
It's society breaking down.
Literally, as people have to make that decision of when you get to the turn, like, am I going to try to jump? Most of them don't have a choice. That thing whips them right off and they go flying, and then they land on the people that just got whipped off, and then I
feel like sometimes our algorithms are the same, you and I, because I just saw a video on Instagram of a guy who was riding up a T-bar, like a long, long T-bar.
Yeah.
Couldn't handle it, fell backwards and took out everyone behind him all the way down.
That's bowling. They call that T-bar bowling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Took out the whole lot.
Guy rolled a strike.
What's that other one called where you put it in between your legs? Pomodoro? No. Pommelhort? No. Oh, what is it?
I know what you're talking about, but I don't know what you're talking about.
It's a kind of chairlift?
Yeah.
Yeah,
you got the circle at the bottom?
Yeah. The first time I had to do that again, like do a T-bar or one of those, it's probably been like 10 years. It was a jolt. And you're like, well, geez. And you have to, and then you get on it and you're like, oh my God, I don't want to be the guy.
T-bar is a lost art, man.
T-bar is a lost art. I used to go to Twatna all the time when I was growing up as a kid, and that's all you had is T-bar.
T-bars were fun, and then you could do like the slalom with the T-bar. Yeah. Cut way out wide, and it pulls you back.
Yeah.
And I used to like doing that. I'm looking forward to skiing. God, it's like
I went on the T-bar last year at Marmot. First time I was on a T-bar.
They don't have a T-bar at Marmot. They used to. A long time ago. Where
was I then?
I would have believed you.
Lake Louise, they have a T-bar.
I would have believed him too.
Big White has a T-bar.
It wasn't last year then. It might have been Lake Louise, but I was on a T-bar for a long time. Had not been on one forever. It's a commitment.
And go with someone who's way shorter than you. Like go with a kid. Whew, that's a workout for you.
That's because it's pulling at the back of your legs.
It just hurts. Anyway, so yeah.
I really want to ski. So Ohtani.
All right, that's
Speaking
also
of T-bars.
that was also in my list of 7 things.
Almost $1 billion.
How much have we gotten to so far? One.
No, we got Hunter Assault.
Hunter Assault.
Wanye Jr.'s first game. Oilers win 7 in a row.
Nice.
Ohtani was on there as well. Do you want a preview of everything else we're going to talk about?
It was fun on Friday in the office.
Oh man, that like 4-hour window of time where it felt like it was 100% certainty.
The Blue Jays today, guys, were on YouTube Live putting beers into water guns and shooting it into each other's
They were
mouths.
so excited. They were so excited. That was such good content those boys were pumping out. They had like 4,000 concurrents going. It was fucking wild.
They turned on donations. I think they made like $100 an hour of people just donating money, being like, great stream.
How long they do it for?
Like 4 hours.
Wow.
But then we also got to watch the heartbreak of them.
That was an interesting turn.
You watched it live as they. What did that look like? Explain.
Like the clip from The Simpsons where Ralph Wiggum gets his heart broken.
You can see it.
You can see it
and hear
it.
You
could see it.
Here's the
thing. What was the guy's name? Bob Nightingale? Something like that? Where he goes, confirmed Shohei is not on a plane to Toronto. He is still at his house in Los Angeles. You could just go like.
So, but then they said the agents arranged this. What's the situation?
So there's a conspiracy theory because Robert Horkovich, what's his name?
the Dragons guy.
Yeah.
His agency is the same agency as Shohei Ohtani's. He's represented by CAA talent.
And he probably that's smart.
So he says, here's what we're going to do, boys.
So I think someone at the agency it's kind of come out now that he was going to be a Dodger the whole time. And this was a ploy to get more money. He flew to Dunedin and toured the Jays practice facility after meeting with the Dodgers to be like, I didn't like your offer. I'm going to go look at the Jays. And then they did this plane thing, leaked out to a couple reporters. He's on that plane and he's picking Toronto. So the Dodgers would go from 600 to 700 million.
And think about this. Like Rogers was like Sportsnet was covering the plane stuff. They own the Blue Jays. You have to think executives knew they weren't signing Ohtani. So they let it play out because like it was
a
amazing.
lot of eyes.
Well, of course.
A lot of clicks, a lot
What
of eyes.
I want to know was, I was thinking about it over the weekend.
But like for a moment though, I would say do it all again because for that 4 hours, that was fucking unreal.
It's like the Eric Carlson era in Edmonton. When we convinced ourselves this year for about a week, Eric Carlson was coming. It was a great time.
It's magic.
It was wonderful. Did it happen? No.
It's like buying a lottery ticket.
Kind of.
There's a
You're probably
window.
not going to win, but there's always that moment where you're just like,
well, this was
imagine.
This was more real.
It's funny that this conspiracy came out. I didn't read any of that because I was thinking on the weekend, I'm like, that fucking guy from Dragon's Den surely has Wi-Fi on that private plane. Surely he's knew that this was all
he's watching.
Surely this was like a thing as soon as it took off from California.
But you have to think now, if PR agencies and marketing people and agencies now understand how to manufacture a crisis now like this, a high percentage of what we see is fake. Right? If they're like, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to say it's Hergovich's plane. Okay, great. So he's taken flights before. So he's going to Toronto on that day in the free agency window. Or did he fly the plane during this window on purpose?
No, because like started in the morning being like, there is a plane that is leaving later today for Toronto.
But is that him being complicit in this because of some sort of agency conspiracy?
Oh, for sure.
So he's like, I'm going to fly to Toronto during this window.
Well, he was probably already
and
doing
you say
it.
I'm on it.
He's probably already doing it, but like, or not. Yeah.
Because it would have had, like, that was what was so crazy about it, was the timing of it, right?
Yep.
He was flying from LA to Toronto during that exact window.
And again,
it came in a group chat with my buddies just saying, like the tweet, there's a private jet leaving from Anaheim, Toronto. I'm like, you know how many rich people in Toronto have jets that go to Disneyland with their families? Like,
well, not that exact one.
like, but then they're like, but this one
has been on other flights.
And that has to be all bullshit.
That's all bullshit. So they would have had to have this story ready.
Yeah.
So they must have sat there 10 days ago and be like, we're going to get the last 100 million out of the Dodgers.
For me, what sealed it to make it feel real was the Kikuchi reservation.
See, I never believed that.
Oh, that's the agency too. If they believe,
but then when I was poking holes, I'm like, if Kikuchi had that, it would never be in his name.
K-I-K.
But Rick walked us through that on O&R. It would be like Kikuchi has somebody make the call to the restaurant to book 50, reservation under pseudonym.
Yeah.
Person at restaurant leaks that it's actually from Kikuchi. That's how it gets out.
Fair.
But this is organized in advance. This doesn't happen magically on its own.
Now, did Kikuchi go for sushi that night?
Was it only 49?
Oh, no.
Calls it, change it. 49.
And then there's the video of him going into the airport.
That again.
Well, that was old. The minute they show like, oh my God, he's at the airport. I'm like, that's the one from when he left the season.
But I thought that was him leaving LA when I saw it.
Oh, no, it was all Japan.
So there was a lot of like weird kind of like,
I refuse to believe it. It was too exciting.
Yeah. So
I love me some breadcrumbs on the internet.
A lot of media people love to do the, why'd you get your hopes up, Jays fans? You knew it obviously wasn't going to happen. And this is why you can't believe everything on the internet. It
was on the MLB feed.
Yeah, MLB got involved.
Shared that Ohtani was on his way to Toronto. Like, how are you not supposed to believe that? This wasn't like a bunch, like the sushi thing. Okay, that's hilarious, whatever. But like when John Morosi tweets, Shohei Ohtani's on his way, and that guy breaks signings all the time and works for MLB Network. Duh.
So he would have had to have been told to say that. Or did he just say, I'm going to put a stamp on this rumor and make it my own? And say it's happening.
I think the agency told him. I think the agency is like, whoever it was like, you know what? My relationship with John Morosi, it's not worth $100 million. I'm going to tell him we're on that plane.
There was local Nation insider Adam Seaborn, who was literally, he's like,
handshake emoji.
He was like, I was literally told this. And like, he's connected to some people. So I don't know like where, but like, he's like, oh, clearly my source is fucked, but he's like, this is personal. Like I trust and believe in this space.
I asked Seaborn this morning, I was like, how's the mentions on Twitter? He goes, oh, it's a fucking disaster.
Sometimes Sam Gagne isn't captain. Sometimes that shit happens, Seaborn. You got to stand on business.
Yep.
Oh, he wasn't phased.
No.
So yeah, the Ohtani dream's dead. And when I saw he signed,
I mean, it's dead. Now we're just Dodger fans. All good.
Oh, I don't give a shit about that. I'm booing him when he comes back.
Oh fuck!
You plunk him?
I'd plunk him.
Imagine someone did.
First time up.
He used the Jays. I care about the Jays more than I care about Ohtani.
This is for making a week of our life very exciting.
I hope I can see a Dodgers game this year. I really hope I can.
It's funny how the narrative's like, they're going to give him so much money, they're not renewing the NHL deal. And the NHL is like, aw. And then it's like, then we didn't get our guy. Aw. But the NHL still doesn't get any money. Aw.
Just almost like
$700 million. All these comparisons.
Billion Canadian almost.
Yeah.
Because like before it was like 50 to 60.
Yeah, my prediction was 12 years, 550.
$432,000 per game.
The reality is like signing this is an investment in your organization. Like the Dodgers brand now, like is just like it already was huge, but like it is popping off.
They did a calculation. They estimated somehow, I don't know how they did this, but he was worth $300 million a year to the California Angels. Like to the tourism, to the sales of merch, like the
people stealing jerseys.
Yes, the all-in macro value of him.
I took a dent to that. I didn't steal. I paid.
It was weird just seeing Magic Johnson just being like, "Welcome aboard!" Like we have unlimited
showtime.
Like he had to stay West Coast.
Well, he didn't have to do anything.
There was a storyline that made sense.
It makes sense he's a Dodger.
But there was a storyline that made sense for Toronto. And that was the other thing too. Like it was so believable.
Like Adam from Blue Jays Nation, he's like, this is going to change. He's changing lives. This signing is changing kids' lives.
Wow.
Like, wow. This is why he's doing it.
I did
That's
a whole
why he's
rap
doing it.
on ONR too.
I thought he wanted to like put his own stamp on things, not just go like join the Dodgers legacy and like whatever. I thought he was like, you know what? I'm Shohei Ohtani. I'm going to do it my way. Just like when he came over the first time, he was the first really Japanese Asian free agent to do what he did, which is come over before he was a true UFA. He was making league minimum for his first couple of seasons here.
Just waiting for the big ticket. He showed up and put in.
He lost money because he could have made more in Japan. But he came over early because he was like, I'm doing it my way. I want to be one of the best players ever. So I thought like he's going to come north. He's going to make like the Blue Jays franchise his own. And like have this whole country behind him. Like it made sense.
And it turned out
Dodger. Go Dodgers.
Turned out $700 million. He's like, what's that? Dodgers?
I did a whole thing on
wait
ONR
to get
on
my
Friday.
Dodgers Ohtani jersey.
I
cannot wait.
I'm going to get one and burn it.
Did you see ever the footage we put on Leafs Nation of Ty Domi agreeing to his contract with the Leafs? It's so, have you seen it? So they have footage of it. It's like back in the day, shot on a potato, but his contract offer was like $7 million over 4 years or something, right? So you see him look at it, he's like, huh. And that's US? And they're like, yeah. And he's like, And he kind of sitting there, you can see in his mind, his numbers are changing, right? And he's calculating. He's like, and the 5th year, they're like, there's an option for 1.6. He's like, huh. Can you imagine what Ohtani would have looked like? Like $700 million.
Hey, he gets a call from his agent. He's like, yeah, hello. Hey, yeah, they're going up another 100 mil.
I guess I am on that plane. But he's wearing like a feudal shogun warrior outfit. And it's all gold. And he has a huge sword. Like, how do you even, if you're him, is he like so committed to the craft? Like, I don't know anything about him. Is he living in a bubble like Connor McDavid where he's always, so he doesn't even care he's getting money. He just wants
Someone tweeted, they're like, look how much he has to pay in taxes. It's like half his salary. And someone was like,
More than half.
I think someone goes, I think he'll be all right. Like, yeah, no, still making after tax.
I was curious. So Shohei Ohtani by himself makes more than the entire roster from the Oakland A's, the Baltimore Orioles, the Pittsburgh Pirates, the Cincinnati Reds, the Milwaukee Brewers, the Royals, the Marlins, and the Cleveland Guardians.
combined.
Not only the aggregate,
their
but like
total payroll.
Their total payrolls for their team. He makes more than all of those teams.
And what is I know it's a soft cap. What is the cap in Major League Baseball?
I think the luxury tax threshold is 250, 280.
250?
Yeah, it's
Holy.
It's just
Now, Chalmers, I don't follow baseball, but as I understand it, this Ohtani guy can throw a pitch and he's so fast.
He goes and hits it.
He hits his own pitches.
it's like Mr. Perfect.
So he'll be waiting at the plate for his own pitch, and then he'll hit that shit yard. And then as the ball crosses over and it turns into gold, and it just rains down gold coins.
And then his team is down 1-0.
Up 1-0. Because there's a rule: if you can hit your own pitch, it counts for 2. It's the in-season tournament in the MLB.
So yeah, I was dejected on Saturday, but I wasn't like stunned when I saw it. I was driving at the time too, and I was looked at my phone. I had a text from friend of the network, Colby Cohen, and he texted me. He goes, "I told you the best baseball player in the world wasn't coming to Toronto." And I was like,
don't you feel so good about yourself that you were negative all the way along? Colby, who is it? Armstrong?
Colby Cohen.
Did you get Colby Armstrong? Did you get that feeling like when I'm an idiot for even believing this? When you tell when your friend that never comes out says he's going to come and join you for a beer, and then he doesn't, but you for like an hour actually talk.
Oh, like when you think you're going to come on our podcast twice a week for 12 years.
Chalmers says he's coming on a nation vacation. You're like,
45 minutes before the show,
Phoenix.
we say you're fighting a Boilermaker and you're not going to make it or whatever.
We'll be in Phoenix.
We
We're
had
gonna go to the Bottle Blonde.
We had 2 company altering shirt designs ready. Altering.
they were ready to go.
Release them. Release the
we would have been
Kraken.
big in Japan.
Release them.
We probably should.
oh, it'd be so funny. Just be like, who wants them? We made them.
My favorite was, I wish I knew who did it, but how quickly they had a shirt of the plane with the flight number was fucking hilarious.
The new MH371 or whatever.
Yeah.
The new mystery plane.
Chalmers mentioned Phoenix, which is a good time for me to tell you. Okay.
Trip is moving.
Is it?
Oh yeah.
Is the flightless package?
Both are going.
Perfect. I love it. So that's
amazing when the boys are on a roll. This is what happens.
And it's a great gift. And it's going to be a gift of a good time.
Give the gift of a nation vacation this holiday season for $19.99. You can send your favorite fan on the trip of a lifetime to Arizona with the crew, Chalmers included. February 18th to 20th, you get your flights, your hotel, and your hockey all included. And we're also now offering a flexible no-flight option for $9.99 if you want to join us, but you want to book your own flights. Maybe you're not coming from Edmonton, something like that. You can still come on the trip. So shout out to nationgear.ca.
Goat and the boys are coming.
And shout out to Alberta Blue Cross for their fantastic travel insurance. ab.bluecross.ca/travel to learn more.
Now, Ramchak, let's say some of our listeners are in prison.
Mm-hmm.
Can they get out to go on this trip?
Oh, God. I don't know.
They asked nicely, I guess.
Oh, hey? Okay. I wasn't sure if there was diplomatic immunity for any prisoners.
Bobby Schmurder will be there.
He's free.
You know how the weather has been so great for this whole winter so far? We've been so lucky.
Uh-oh. Why? What's happening? I'm checking the 4-day
January
forecast.
17th, it's going to be minus 30. And it's going to be that way all weekend. So you're going to want to go to Phoenix.
Well, good thing we're going in February.
Plus 22. What did I say? January? I meant.
I was going to say, I think we'll be in Jasper.
I got the other thing. No. That weekend's going to be beautiful. Just cold enough to make the ice melt.
-5 maybe?
-5 is perfect.
Yeah.
Because we need good ice for the pond hockey tournament.
We should have a practice.
I got to go buy a new bucket.
Let's go.
Who was on our team last year? I was trying to recount. Us 4?
Salome?
No, that's 2 years ago.
Seaborn and Frank.
Seaborn, the guy who thought Ohtani was going to Toronto.
Our 2 insiders?
Yeah, our 2
He wasn't inside on that one, was he?
Shout out Tourism Jasper. We're going back for the Pond Hockey Tournament, and you, the listener, can join us. chehockey.com if you want to find out more info about that trip, because it's a good time.
So, yeah.
January 18th to 21st.
Yep.
What a weekend. So that's the end of minor hockey week. So is it weird that I'm going to hope for my kids to do really well at the beginning of minor hockey week, but then lose before the weekend? So we can
that's fair.
So we can all go. Because right now it's definitely going to be all of us, but
is there like an Ohtani backstory of him like hitting bricks with a bat to get strong or something? Or do you just like wake up one morning 6'6" hitting dingers?
Yeah,
he is a monster.
That is interesting because you know, like Crosby, there was the washing machine or the dryer.
He should drive that Zamboni to Tim Hortons every morning
with his best friend Nathan McKinnon.
All right.
No, but was there no?
My analogy was just like if Connor McDavid was Connor McDavid, and also every now and then he's the best goaltender in the league.
Yeah, but
makes no sense.
Do you know anything about this?
No
way.
He's very private. Like he doesn't.
I just assumed he walked out of like the shadows as a full formed human, like a full adult.
Yeah. He hit a ball through the roof of the Tokyo Dome.
And nobody knew what the hell happened. The video is awesome.
Really?
They're all just like, and the other team's like, hey, stop. Like, why is he still running? We don't even know where the fucking ball is.
Where's the other guy going?
Yamamoto?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Seattle?
Is he also going to LA?
Yamamoto Watch, Toronto. I heard
he's on a plane.
There's a press conference.
No, he's on this. He's on a cruise.
He's got a 50-person dim sum reservation locked in.
No, the Jays are
Just
apparently
pivoting from sushi.
You know who wins in this whole thing is that sushi restaurant.
Fucking right.
But did they name it?
No,
because that'd be
But if
smart
you're in
if they
Toronto,
did.
you're probably like, oh, it
Someone
must
tweeted
be.
they're like, the biggest lie is that there's a sushi place by Rogers. Like someone's like, that doesn't even exist.
That's the agency in Overdrive.
Yeah, it's called Ripley and believe it or not, it's Aquarium.
But the other, or the now next big free agent, which again, it's like Ohtani
Bellinger
crap. Yeah. Cody Bellinger's fiance or wife posted a Instagram story of the Toronto skyline yesterday.
Well, you knew he was his plan B.
Well, but also now people are like, Bellinger's wife watched Ohtani get an extra 100 mil.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This. So she's like, yep.
He sent a missus just to Toronto.
That's actually
to take that
smart.
photo.
Imagine they were letting people into the stadium with like Ohtani Blue Jay shirts and everyone's paying for everything and they fill the whole stadium. And they're like, nah.
You should just get an Ohtani Blue Jays jersey.
Do it.
It definitely exists. Someone definitely did it.
My favorite is all the people who thought this was going to happen on Friday, only to watch the 500 level tickets go from like $20 a piece to 150 a piece
For the season opener?
Yeah.
And now back down to like $8. Hilarious.
Imagine Ohtani bought all the tickets up. He's so smart. He bought all the tickets to the opening game and then released them as the...
That's just good business.
There was a rapper one time I read about, and I can't remember his name, which is unfortunate considering the story. They're like, he's the smartest rapper of all time. What this guy did was he bought a bunch of Spotify bots, so it looked like he was streaming like crazy. Then he went and bought out his first concert in 7 minutes. So all the press was like, this guy's hot on Spotify, and his concert sold out in 7 minutes. And it was him. He bought all his own shit. And then the night before the concert, he started releasing tickets because the hype had been so big. This guy went out on his first show. I can't remember how much money he made, like hundreds of thousands of dollars. He had the presence of mind to buy up all his own tickets, hold them, get a ton of press about how hot he was. Release them.
That was like the Oilers sold out streak for...
Yeah, right before the game, D. Cates, an anonymous man, bought 8,000 tickets to the Oilers Flames game.
Well, so I listened to a podcast with a guy named David Sampson, who used to be the president of Miami Marlins, and they used to buy like a certain amount of tickets every game just to say that they got to a certain level of attendance. They were totally faking the numbers. Like,
oh,
if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Yeah.
Like the Elks saying there's like 30,000 people at the game.
And you're like, oh, there might be 40. Like 40. Stop.
How dare you?
4D. 4
Speaking of Commonwealth, I went to the Big Air. You don't know anything about it.
Well, one sec. You're going to tell us about that.
The style experience.
After we step aside for a quick break. All right. Welcome back to the pod. Back part of the pod is going to be delivered by DoorDash. Dash that for the win this holiday season. Make DoorDash your holiday hack. For a limited time, our Canadian listeners can get 25% off and 0 delivery fees on their first order of $15 or more when you download the DoorDash app and enter the code NATION25. You heard that right. 25% off up to a $10 value and 0 delivery fees on your first order when you download the DoorDash app in the App Store and enter the code NATION25. Big Air.
Yes.
Was great.
What about it?
It happened.
Big Air was
air
awesome,
big?
man.
Was it Big Air?
It was.
Was Mark McMorris there again?
He was hurt though, I think.
I got to hang out with him for like 15 minutes.
Did you?
Yeah, and shot
Cool.
the show with him. I've talked about exclusively about Saskatchewan. It was great. Yeah, he's cool. He was there as like an ambassador for the event. But
Does he like Edmonton?
well, we're talking about Southern Saskatchewan. I think he loves the event. He said that like ramp coming down, he's like, it's super steep. I'm like, you're saying that? He's like, yeah, no, like these guys are going big off these jumps. He's like, that's why, like for me, he's just coming back from injury. He's like, this wouldn't be the event for me to like start back into. But
So I saw your
I'm ready
photo.
to go.
That ramp is a fucking kicker.
Yeah, man, it's massive. So we got to go right down like where they come and land, and like watching them come down from like, well, they're above the lights at Commonwealth, right? And they drop down, and then all of a sudden you see them, and they must be like, it feels like they're in the air for 30 seconds, and they're like turning and flipping and doing all this like 14 times. Like it's
like an actual competition too.
It's one of the FIS events. Like, it's legit.
Can you imagine if they just loaded a normal person out of that ramp as like a contest winner and they're like, good luck. You're like, great.
It is so crazy. Like when you see it,
even not a land, you'd land on your head.
It's crazy.
Your legs would just go up through your body.
Is it more dangerous in your mind than like a ski jump? Like
because they don't move. Those guys just sit there and stand. Like,
but they take like an elevator way higher up and like.
Well, but geez, man. What? I would argue that it is.
What they're laughing about.
I would argue it's very similar height. What?
Nothing. I just said that.
Tyler's being a rascal.
Yeah, just being a dick.
I would argue it's very similar height to one of those ski jumps.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought that when you're driving into Calgary and you look like the ski jump to me, the elevator
up
looks
on a hill. It's up on a hill and it's up. Like, so when you drive from afar, it looks really high because it's already up on a hill and then it goes up. Like, if you went it, like, it's still high, but like, I bet you, man, I'd like to get like, well, I don't know, how tall is Commonwealth?
To me, the thought of going down the ski jump in those two tracks with your big long skis and all you can do is V and hope to live is like one of the most terrifying things in the world.
What if they were doing like a tail grab,
this is what I mean.
Backflip, McTwisty.
If you're telling me that these people are going a crazier jump and doing tricks off that shit,
they're turning around and they still have to try to find the landing area. Like, which way is up when you're spinning like 400 times?
There is no up.
It was very gray yesterday also.
Yeah. But yeah, it was super cool. It was such a cool event.
Was there a lot of people there?
Yeah, I think there was a fair amount. I bet you they probably could do more, but I think more people just need to know about it. Like, anyone who went there, tell your friend for next year, because they had like live concerts. They had like a rail session for a bunch of local snowboarders to do in like the one corner.
Love a good rail session.
Yeah, and
Charles.
Yeah, no, it was cool. And I got to meet my new best friend, Mark McMorris. I was kind of super.
You want to do a podcast?
I was playing it cool.
You got to play it cool.
Yeah, a little too cool.
Olympic champ.
A long game. I asked about how his recovery was, and then we talked about Southern Saskatchewan.
Where's he from?
Regina.
Northern
Saskatchewan. Does this
Saskatchewan.
have anything to do with the Big Air? But why was
Nebraska?
Why was Gretz and family all at the Oilers game on Wednesday?
Like Wayne?
Like Wayne and the whole family.
Really?
Yeah. I heard from a good source.
Okay, but you didn't see them.
Yeah.
I did not see
Did he tell you Ohtani was going to
It's
Toronto?
the same source?
No.
Not Adam Seaborn, is
he
it?
knew better than that. He knew he was going to the Dodgers.
I don't know.
I was just wondering like what they were here for. If there was like a function.
You need to start tracking Wayne's.
You never know. Maybe there was like a friend's birthday.
I just thought maybe I was like weirdly thought maybe they were here for the Big Air, that they love the Big Air so much they just had
Maybe they were there. I don't know.
Is there luxury boxes at that thing?
Yeah.
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 I don't see Wayner and the family sitting on the.
No.
It was only like
Minus
-2 or 3, but I still wore like my big winter jacket just because when you're not moving.
So you imagine Wayne coming into the house in Calabasas, is it, and saying, "Gather, children, we're all going to Edmonton for the Big Air at the football
I can see
stadium."
Wayne doing that just because he's like, you know, there's a big air happening in Edmonton. We should go check it out. Now he would want to go. Would the family shut him down? I don't know. Wayne would want to be there.
I saw
Big Air
that.
was-
You guys see that clip of Wayne talking to, what was it, Joe Buck? I want to say Joe Buck. It doesn't make sense now that I say
No,
Joe
it's
Buck.
Theo Vaughn.
No, it wasn't Theo Buck.
About looking
Where-
like Princess Diana.
Where he talked about he hated coming back to Edmonton because of how much he loved it here. And it felt like he was betraying the house. I'm going to find it.
Damn, that's fair.
Joe Buck, eh?
Even if it's not
I feel
true.
like I said, I feel like I was making that up now.
Even if
No,
it's
it was
not
Joe
true, the
Buck.
amount of nice stuff Gretzky says about Edmonton, even if he's faking it,
Doesn't matter.
just thank you, Wayne.
Yes.
Because every time there's an opportunity where he could big league Edmonton, he doesn't, man.
When I was walking outside Madison Square Garden, though, there is a Wayne Gretzky quote on the wall that says, "I always tell people the best place in the world to play is right here in New York." And I'm like, damn it, Wayne.
That's marketing.
I probably shouldn't have read that.
Yeah, he's
That's my
pandering.
fault. Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
He's
brought
lying
you
to them,
by
but not to
Jersey
us.
Mike's.
Oh yeah, he would never lie to us.
There's a mural in St. Louis that says, "My favorite time I ever spent in my career was here."
The most
Was when
important
Shane
period of
Corson
my
came in to
career
see.
was in St. Louis.
But actually, would be even more hilarious if he blatantly shit talk St. Louis and they're like, you know what? Still a Wayne quote. Just put it up. And he's like, my time in St. Louis wasn't that
Or he
good.
starts quoting Nelly from songs that came out after he was there.
I remember when
What's the
he went to St.
Memorial
Louis.
called?
Or the Arch?
The Arch?
Isn't it called like the Gateway to the West or something? St.
He
Louis
just said
Arch.
that thing isn't worth a shit, and then just
When he went there and it was like, he's now playing with Brett Hull. Like Gretzky to Hull. I remember everybody just being like,
St. Louis is so dumb. Why did they just try to keep him?
I don't understand why that happened. Like, how did he go there for such a short amount of
Probably
time?
because he was
then
a
dip?
free agent.
But
He
then
was
why
gonna
they
be a free
had
agent.
lots of money. Why did they give it to him?
Yeah, but or maybe it was just always destiny he was going to go to New York.
Like
and like
Ohtani?
you're just going to get, and you're just going to get, 3 weeks of Gretzky.
He was only there 18 games.
Yeah, because they didn't make
regular season games, 13 playoff games.
Oh, okay. There was a playoff push. Okay, I couldn't remember if there was.
And then he
was a
finished
rental.
off.
What was the trade at the deadline for?
Yeah.
Does it say like on his
Question.
hockey DB? That'd be
They traded Brett Hull.
Yep. So
Traded
on
Bort Hall for him.
February 27, 1996, he was traded from Los Angeles to St. Louis for Patrick Tardif, Craig Johnson, Roman Vopat,
Oh, that guy became something.
a fifth round pick who was Peter Hogan, and a first round pick in 97 who was Matt Zoltek.
All of that
Wow.
for that much hockey?
Absolutely struck out on that trade.
So they didn't get, I don't even know who any of these names are.
Like St. Louis wins that trade somehow.
Roman Vopat didn't become anything, Jay.
He played in the NHL though.
Yeah, for like 80 games.
I think he's the
over
only one
8
that
years.
Who was that first rounder that they ended up using?
Matt Zoltek.
Bort Tarkington?
Hey,
Matt
what are we gonna-
Zoltek did not play a game in the NHL.
Zoltak.
What are we going to do for this Gretzky trade? Just write some
So
shit
is
down.
that the trade of a team that thinks they're going to keep Gretzky when they get him? Or is that the trade of a team who's like, we might have him for 3 weeks? That to me seemed like a pretty big haul.
Matt
They gave him a
Zoltek.
bunch of nobodies.
Matt Zoltek, 1997, drafted first round, 15th overall by LA. 1999, drafted second round, 56th overall by Boston.
4 years later?
2 years later.
Did he de-age? How is it even possible?
And he was still a second round pick.
Turns out we drafted him the first time he was 13.
Well, he was part of a Gretzky trade, so that's pretty cool.
And he was it's not even like he was a college guy.
And then what did he do? Just dip as a free agent to New
Never
York?
played a single.
It looks-
Zoltek never played a single NHL.
It looks
game.
like the most successful player in that trade was Craig Johnson, who played 557 NHL games.
Oh wow.
Patrice Tardif played. 50
How did Gretzky make his way to the Big Apple?
Free agency.
What was the contract?
Let me see.
It's like 9 years, 6 million. Good God.
I wish you made 5 million.
Okay. After turning down a 3-year contract with the St. Louis Blues for $15 million,
Big smoke.
Gretzky signed a 2-year deal with the Rangers for $8 million plus incentives.
8 million a season?
St. Louis was giving him Jack Campbell money.
Let me find that out.
Didn't he make like 13 million Canadian his whole time as an Oiler? In that
He
contract?
apparently took less to go play with Messier in New York.
Brett Hull must have been so mad at Gretzky.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to come to St. Louis. Your book's called Shooting and Smiling. I'm going to pass you the puck and you're going to shoot. We're going to smile. I'm
I care
out.
more about the Brett Hall GT Racer.
Yeah, that was
Snow
a big
racer?
deal.
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, he had a GT snow racer.
God, I love how much Gretzky and Mess loved each other.
Must have been a quick
Just
one.
wanted to play together. God, this is my favorite.
Well, the one thing you knew with Mess, you were safe.
Remember when they did that photo shoot in New York where they're wearing all their like cool Hespler equipment and shit and they were out in the street?
Yeah.
Remember that? Oh man, that was cool. Hockey equipment looks so good in those days, like gloves and like the Hespler
I used to
gloves.
love the sporting news, that actual like newspaper that just for like the advertisements in it. They were always so cool. I still have some of them. I used to cut them out. And there was a Hespler one with Gretz.
And goalie equipment, I think like masks in those days too were
Just-
just phenomenal.
Storm in the bench seat. Or whatever.
I think
What's
I'd
the
like to
thing
see
you got locked in?
goalies go back to the Arthur Zerbe.
That's cool.
Nobody's doing that anymore.
No.
Well, you can't say goalies go back to just what one goalie ever did.
I want the Arthur Zerbe.
You know what the NHL should do if they want to grow the game overseas is get rid of the helmet rule.
Oh yeah.
No Buckies?
No, let people flow.
Or the Chris Osgood even.
How there's a
Yeah.
rule saying you have to wear a helmet, yet we know for a fact players don't wear cups.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
I had
One
a guy on my
guy
beer
per
league team
team.
the other day goes, I don't wear a cup. I was like, are you stupid?
You can't concuss your
Donk.
jibbies.
Did you
But
hear
you can rupture them.
Christian Kirk of the Jaguars had his nut explode the other week. Got hit so hard it popped open.
Oh boy.
Oh, and he wasn't playing. Oh, is that why he was on?
That's why he's
Wow.
out. They're saying
Jeez.
groin injury, and everyone on Twitter's like, no, his nut exploded
Yeah.
last game.
That's a groin injury.
It is.
That's probably the worst kind.
A groin explosion injury.
I can't think of an injury I'd want to suffer less.
No.
Like, I think, knock on wood here, if you were like Tyler in your life at some point, you will either rupture your nut or like break your fibula. I think I take the broken fibula.
No way. Well, actually, no. hang
I
on a
don't know.
second.
I don't even. I. You know what? I don't even want to play this game.
Talking about this.
No, I don't.
Yeah. Now I know what you're feeling.
Yeah.
I can feel
I like
it.
it.
Feel it in my plums.
How do you feel? How do you feel? Oh, your ruptured plums.
My plums.
My prunes.
The juice is flowing down your chin
Oh, what?
What?
from my plums. from eating my juicy plums when I took to market. Okay, what do you think about the Bills saving their season?
Wow. That was huge. I had a good feeling about the Bills.
Game.
They got
baby.
fucking lucky.
After that, Sean, no, they didn't. The guy was offside.
I know, but the refs normally
Let him. Yeah, the refs normally give him a little
just
hate.
probably step back.
Kadarius,
Tony didn't even look. If
you've
you
ruined
watch-
this season enough.
He looked
buddy.
so
Take a
dumb
step
after.
back. Oh man.
He looked so
And
dumb.
how about
after.
Mahomes
What a
just being
play,
a
though.
grade A baby?
Oh, he is a baby.
I
a
know,
baby.
but when he went to go shake Josh Allen's hand, he was like, "Oh, terrible call, Josh. Oh my
Yeah,
god,
like
Worst
that's
call
What's
ever."
Josh
like
Allen
say
gonna
that
do
in the
about
media. I know. Don't come up to Josh Allen. But
Do you
that,
know
yeah,
Allen was
yeah.
like, "What the fucking
Yeah.
okay?"
Yeah, but then Josh Allen went to Kelsey and like had his hands over. You know, he's probably like,
Mahomes
doing
is such a
bullshit.
bitch.
Oh, but like, what do you want me to do?
We
about it?
needed that one.
Yeah,
So-
we needed that one really bad. Okay, can you explain something to me?
Sure.
What the hell is up with Gabe Davis? Why one game does he have 135 and a touchdown, and the next game he literally doesn't even get a target?
Yeah, because he sucks ass.
Then why is he good sometimes?
Because there's just days where he's not a
Sexless
good.
ass?
Is it a
He's not
blind
a
squirrel
good
situation?
He's not a good route running wide receiver. He's ass at it. There just happens to be a couple of games. One, he's Josh's favorite red zone target. Loves going him in the red zone. And there just happens to be games where he like gets open for 65 yards. And
I'm
it's like,
I'm convinced that if Josh Allen
Josh's?
doesn't start throwing the ball softer, he's going to continue to struggle because guys can't catch a ball thrown that hard.
No, just get guys who can catch.
Half
Yeah.
the time they are tipped. They're right on the guy's hands, but it's with so much velocity that it hits him, pops up in the air, and it's picked off.
turn up the catch machine to a higher speed in practice.
The
and
jugs.
figure it out.
Throw it
The
higher,
jug's
Josh.
gone.
Anyways, that was a big one.
But
And-
if okay, so let's play this out. So say that TD counts.
yeah.
The Bills still have a minute and 10 seconds, or
Yeah.
a minute, yeah.
There's time on the clock for them to go back and score. Either way, they just needed a win so bad.
Yeah,
And
they
now they're tied for a playoff spot again,
Yep.
which is huge.
Which is huge because football's better when the Bills are good.
Yeah.
And,
also,
football's better when Joe Flacco is your quarterback. Thank you very much.
also the
Oh man, Joe
if the
just
Bills can
laid
just
it
get
there,
in,
right?
every quarterback in the conference outside of Mahomes is hurt.
Yeah.
Like,
Flacco's not hurt. Ask Josh where Flacco is in the standings compared to
Jake
him.
Browning,
They're tied.
probably the best quarterback in the NFL
No,
right
they're
now.
not. The Browns are ahead.
we're both 7-6.
Check that again, bro.
Are you guys 8-6?
8-5.
You guys are 8-5.
You know what I know about football right now? Is I know that Ohtani makes more money in one inning than Brock Purdy will in his lifetime.
Brock Purdy makes $850,000.
Ohtani makes that
He's
in
an
an
MVP
inning.
candidate on the best team in the NFL.
This is last year on that deal? It's got to be.
He's a fake MVP candidate.
What do you mean fake MVP
No,
candidate?
Brock
That kind of
Purdy.
money?
Brock Purdy sucks.
He's the coolest. If you don't like him,
He's
then
the
you got
coolest. He has the
walks-
aura of a wet cereal box.
Yeah, that's what's cool about him. He like walks in with like a backpack, like he's going to school.
He doesn't get the drip.
He's got no drip.
But maybe that is
and
the
he
drip.
doesn't care. He goes home and sits. He runs a tractor still. Like
He tries so hard, Tyler. He's Mr. Irrelevant, and here he is now playing with LeBron James in the in-season tournament finale.
Okay, do you think that they should have had champagne at the end of the
They
in-season?
gotta
Yes.
hype it up.
You gotta hype it up. You
Yeah,
gotta make it look
they
like it's
gotta.
a secondary championship.
Because
trophy.
I don't even
He
know.
was
I still
wearing
don't know
a
what the hell it is.
championship hat,
Yep.
a championship
He has to.
t-shirt, carrying a championship trophy into a locker room in December when NBA basketball doesn't really start till December. Let's be honest.
Now it does. It starts a month earlier.
So
the
would
in-season.
you get behind this? I have a hockey related version of it.
Okay. Probably yes.
Okay.
Yes, I would.
So every NHL season starts where your first 7 games are only against the 7 other teams in your division. You run the gauntlet through your division. You play everyone in your division once. Every division then has one winner. Those teams go to Vegas for a weekend and you play a semifinal and a final. And whoever wins gets a 5-point bonus in the standings.
Now, do those games count
Yep,
towards your regular season?
So if you start
Do the
6
NBA
and 1
count games count against?
The NBA
Okay.
games count. It counts in the season standings. You just get a little star next to you, and it's ding 5-point bonus at the end of the season because you won the beginning tournament.
I don't know.
Or you win $5 million in the cap.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I like the points in the
That.
I like that the
Those are
games would
just-
count towards the regular season.
Yeah.
But the 5-point bump, I think, I don't like that. I don't know why. I think that the point should just be wins and losses. No, but an in-season tournament for hockey, I think I would get behind that.
But they would be going hard.
Just minor
if it was
hockey week. They time with minor hockey
What if
week.
what if a guy got injured? Because If a guy gets
But if it
injured,
counts as regular
it's still
season-
the regular season.
They got to make the ice look cool then.
Yeah, they got
black
Diet
ice.
Purple and shit.
Black ice, white pucks.
Yeah,
Let's
white
go.
puck.
Cool. Jay, I'm from Waterloo, where vampires live. What was that about in that show, eh?
What?
Jim Balsillie said that to Gary Bettman.
Yeah.
I watched the Blackberry movie, and there's like this showdown
good, hey?
scene. Amazing. I think it's
So
one of
good.
the best things CBC's ever made, excluding Degrassi.
Schitt's Creek.
But he's getting told off by Gary Bettman, and he says he's going to buy the whole NHL. And he goes, I'm from Waterloo, where vampires live. And he left. And like, he must have really said that
Yes,
to make
because
like,
it's so weird.
imagine you were that cornered by the board of governors that you're like, I'm going to hit him with the Waterloo line. Waterloo should have that be their town motto,
Yeah,
where
absolutely.
vampires live.
Absolutely.
My dad had a Blackberry Storm,
And
and it was exactly everything. Yes.
didn't
I
your
love that
heart
movie.
at the end, when he, remember, because at the beginning he's fixing the intercom for the guy,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and then to go all the way through in the end, and he was trying to fix it by hand. Didn't your heart just sink? Like all the Blackberry Storms they had, and like,
So millions.
I had a storm.
That was the word. I remember
was
my
the-
dad got, I was like, you just made your life 10 times worse. Like knowing you, and he's like, why? This phone works great.
Wait,
No,
was the storm the one with no buttons?
it was the touch screen, and you
was
pushed
their
it,
iPhone.
And the whole
and you
screen
felt
could
it
click.
dunk,
Yeah,
dunk,
the whole screen
dunk,
would click
dunk.
in. Yeah, I don't know.
it's crazy though, because in that movie you can see the logic of how he's like, an iPhone is a toy, and what we do is work. And like, I don't know anybody who prefers typing on glass to an actual keyboard. I don't know anybody.
I love the Blackberry keyboard.
Me too.
I did too.
I don't understand why they like, they're still around, but like, if they just kept putting out bolds, I would have bought them.
I've had
And allowed for the same app.
And
It's
the
a
Palm
bummer
Pilot
when they
guy's
talk
so
about-
crazy in that movie, eh? What is that guy on? He's on some.
it's a bummer
glue.
when they talk about the market share that BlackBerry had at their peak, only to go down to zero.
The guy that's the hero is the like the cool guy with the headbands that got pushed out that sold
secretly
the stock.
richest guy in the
Yeah.
world. So I interviewed at Research in Motion in 2006 when I went to Toronto, and I went in and I remember like, man, it was legit. They had like a campus. It was in Waterloo. It wasn't in Toronto. And I remember having the meeting and
Are
the
you wearing
lady,
a ring of garlic?
what? I'm a vampire. No, but they were like, we have 40% of the cellular market, and we aren't even selling in Europe yet. And I was like, God damn. And they're like, we estimate we're going to be 70% of the world's cell phone sales in 5 years. And I was like, holy man, this is incredible. I'm like, can I work here? And they were like, no. And then they went tits up, and I was like, that's what you get.
What was the reason that they didn't live up to that?
Just the iPhone. To get the Steve Jobs footage too released, they're like, can we please put Steve Jobs in the movie? No. We're admitting that you won. Yes.
Yeah. Watching them all watch it in the office together and they go, oh.
It was just, I honestly think that what killed it in the end was that you could like watch TV on your iPhone and play games on your iPhone and do all these things on a LED screen that morphed into all sorts of shit. Whereas on a BlackBerry, like the scene where he's looking at their UX and their UI and he's like clicking on things and you just convey how shitty it is next to an iPhone. It's
Like
crazy.
he was right. Like initially, like you can't do work on it. Cause I remember when I first swapped to iPhone, I was like, fuck, I hate running the email on my iPhone.
Yeah, I did too.
Now that's all gone. Like it's totally fine. And so he was kind of right, but he wouldn't let go of his vision.
But I remember one time being at playing poker and I had like an early BlackBerry. And I remember someone saying, what do you think the last BBM message is going to be? I was like, 1,000 years from now, maybe. Like we're going to be BBM messaging until the end of time. A little light would go on.
I remember that. Yeah.
It's crazy how things change so fast in technology. Yeah. And I remember all the boys one by one switching to an iPhone.
Everybody had a BlackBerry.
And I held on. I was like, I'm BlackBerry till death, Canada over everything. And then we started making apps. And I had to test it. So I had to get an iPhone and had like a magic moment with it where I was like, oh, what's so mesmerizing? And then cut the rope. I was like, oh, I'm cutting fruit.
And then from like that moment on, it was like, okay, well, now I got to get a Mac laptop and an iPad. I need everything to be the same. I need my desktop to be a Mac.
And to think of how crazy the iPhone, when he does that pitch and he says, you know what the thing about selling minutes is? You can only sell 1 minute a minute. That's how Steve Jobs got Singular and all those crazy people to buy into his data pigs. So you could sell way more data than minutes ever. Right. And like, I don't know, man. It's such a good movie. Like it really gives you like elements of how crazy being a business owner is.
Is this a documentary or is this a real movie?
It's a 3-parter movie.
No, it's a 1-parter.
I'm gonna
Is it a 3-parter?
I had it as 3 parts.
I watched it in theaters. It was just straight through.
Oh, I have it on like the app or whatever. It's a 3.
It's a guy from Always Sunny in Philadelphia plays.
Oh, I gotta watch
Jim
this.
Balsillie.
Glenn Howerton.
And then
Glenn Howerton
Jay
plays-
Baruchel is whatever founder guy.
He was involved in writing it. It's really well done.
Super good.
I wish there was
Loved it.
more.
Just no
shows
mention of
about
Brick Breaker. None.
that.
Not one. Yeah.
yeah.
Missed
And
that.
that was part of the.
There was 2 really good business movies that came out like back to back in that kind of window. There was the Blackberry one and then the Nike Air one. They came out like kind of like bang, bang. Really good stuff.
Those came out at the same time.
Mhm.
I watched the Air one like 6 months ago.
Read Shoe
I'm
Dog.
surprised I never heard of
Or
this.
listen
Shoe
to
Dog's
it.
the fucking best.
Yeah,
Shoe Dog should be a movie. It'd have to be long.
Phil Knight rules.
it is
Yeah.
kind of.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's about a part of the book.
Oh, I
It's
see. Like
just
a
about
whole
signing
life
Jordan.
movie.
Like the
Oh,
whole
yeah.
book is amazing.
Yeah, the whole story of Nike, if they walk the whole thing.
I love the market of Air Jordans and just how like they're if they flood the market or like you start selling this one certain shoe at like a super cheap price, like how it fluctuates like an actual commodity. Like
Jordans do.
Jordans totally do. There's a shoe called the Panda and it like is the cheapest selling Jordan because it just was flooded into the market because it's just black and white. It's an Air Jordan Dunk and it's just like pretty plain and basic. And so it goes with everything and a ton of people bought it. But like, then you get these ones that are like these drops that happen and there's only so many out there and the price just keeps rising on them because the more they're sold, if they're sold for $10 more here, now every single one is worth $10 more.
I'm hoping to get in on one of those drops. I just signed up for like the Nike Insiders program or
Yeah.
whatever. And they give you like early advances on stuff and access to those drops. So I want to flip
Good luck.
some shoes.
Well, I got targeted for a pair of Nike runners just today. I was like, fuck, those look good. Sure as shit, they have them in my size.
Which ones?
There's a pair of Air Force
well,
Ones
I
that
Are we
don't-
talking a Max or a Jordan?
Yeah,
low,
no,
a mid?
they're a Max. They're a low top.
Oh, Max, yeah.
There's a pair of
They
Air Force
are-
Ones. that
I
are
gotta
exclusive right
get
now. I
myself
want.
into some
to
Maxes
be, oh
so
fuck.
nice.
Well, whatever. I don't get too
Oh my
deep down the
God.
well here because I'm trying to find it. But
No, it's good.
so it's like, so I went and looked like, it's on sale. I'm like,
I have.
They're targeting you.
So then I took it and I went and looked. I'm like, no, these things are selling for like $1,500.
I
I
have
can't get
a
them for
brand
180.
new in.
They're
The
selling
Nike-
shoes for
The
$1,500.
Nike Vapor Max
God,
off white.
There's a pair for $99,000. This one's from.
There's a guy
These
that
guys.
one of my
Back to the
favorite
Future.
TikTok accounts that I ever see is a dude who runs like a shoe store of some kind.
Yeah, it's called
cool,
Goat.
eh?
And people just walk in with boxes of Nikes and the guy like opens them and like flicks them around and smells them and shit and goes, all right, I'll give you $12 grand for the lot.
Pawn Star Shoe Edition.
I like when he.
More
so
or less.
I like that guy. I see when he knows that they're fake, but he's still like nice to the guy. It's like, yeah, you know what? We're just not into these ones right now. So the dude's like, how come? And he's like, yeah, we just haven't really been selling these too much. But he like knows the minute he opens them and he smells them and then cracks them, he like knows they're fake.
so they have a special
Still-
smell.
Dude, you can go online and just search like a YouTube video of how to tell fake and real Jordans and just watch the 5-minute video and do like the retro 3s or anything. It is so cool.
Super
Like
cool.
there's just these small little intricacies that you will see on a real shoe to a fake shoe that you'll know in a second that they're fake. Like even to the way that Jordan looks on the shoe. He's a little fatter on the
I got these.
ones.
I got these Jordans, and he's fat, and he's got half a head of hair in the logo. Is that not real?
No, those are fake.
The half moon Jordans.
And they're Gordons.
I have in my house. So I've kept all my cell phones from like back in the day, right? Like if a cell phone died, I just put it in a box and I have them. And I have a brand new in box Blackberry Storm, never used. Straight up.
Plastic around it?
Yeah, plastic around it and everything. Plastic on the screen still. Yeah. I have
Sell
it.
that shit.
But like,
man.
is the box plastic wrapped still? Or
No.
did you,
You can slide it. So it was.
Okay,
it's a yellow. It's a green Telus box,
Yeah.
and you can slide out the package. So then there's a wrap around it. Like
I'm gonna tell you right now, that thing buzzes. You need to pop the top off with a little screwdriver and tighten that shit up, or it's gonna buzz.
Yeah.
What's up?
what do you mean buzz?
That's what happens in the movie. There's
Yeah.
a
Jay
buzz in it.
Baruchel will fix it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I wonder if I could charge it and like.
Oh, the Storm was the Storm the touch button?
Yeah.
Oh, well, now they've evolved. They still sell the Storm,
Oh,
but it's not a
They
pure.
have phones still.
Oh, they're still around.
They have
They
a
do, like-
lot of patents, and their portfolio of
Yeah,
patents
they
is still
do.
very
They're
valuable.
basically like a licensing company
Yeah.
now.
Also original.
How many employees does Research in Motion have these days?
It's still a multi-billion-dollar company. They went on a run a little while ago in their stock because they were doing some sort of encryption shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they just had like signed a big partnership with Ford too. Something about the sync now runs through Blackberry technology or something.
When you go to blackberry.com, it says in big bold letters, the Blackberry movie sequel. Find out what Blackberry's doing today.
We're great still. Shut up.
Security, critical event management, and Internet of Things.
What is Jim Balsillie doing?
Chalmers, I'm
just still trying to get the hockey team. He's like,
sorry to tell you, it's not worth as much as I thought it might be.
No.
Yeah.
He's going to bring that team back to Winnipeg. You'll see.
Hamilton.
Was it Hamilton?
He walked into the Cops Coliseum and he's like, that's where my
He
box
just
is
went
gonna go.
too hard.
Yeah, you
Buy
can't-
the team. Don't tell him you're going to relocate them.
You cannot outfox Gary Bettman.
It's relocation 101.
You cannot flex on Gary Bettman. You cannot do it. You can't.
Yeah.
And I think him burying Balsillie in like nose and then turning down Mark Cuban at the same time because Cuban wanted to buy the Penguins too, right?
Yeah.
Like Bettman was on.
What's
some
Cuban
shit.
up to, by the way?
Oh, he just sold his major stake.
Why
in the
though?
Mavericks.
Why is he?
Yeah, like,
Now he
why,
just does
though?
what he wants.
What's he freeing up his time for? He quit Shark Tank too.
I don't know.
He's been on for 16 years and he quit Shark Tank the same time he announced the sale of the team. So you're going to run for governor?
Ooh.
Governor
He's
of
joining
Texas?
Mr. Beast. He needs all the bandwidth.
Governor of Texas. That's what I bet you.
I heard there's an opening in Florida for Congress.
Ron
Sure.
DeSantis?
No, George Santos.
Oh, George Santos.
George Santos.
He's
is
a
that
funny
him?
guy, eh?
Oh
What a
my God.
weirdo.
That guy is pure comedy. He
I
just,
liked his expenses.
he just lies at every single moment.
It's crazy, man. When Congress kicks you over being such a liar among the Liars Club of America, like, you know, you fucked up big time.
I'll bring that storm in.
And now
It
he's
says-
doing
This one
video.
says it's the biggest single flop in smartphone history.
At the exact same time the iPhone gets released. Like,
Well,
hey?
well, yeah, just rushed it.
That graph they show in it, you remember how it's like, this is what they do, this is what they do, this is what they do. And he's just like, it'll be fine. You can't say that shit, Jim Balsillie. He's a spaz, hey? Holy shit. I couldn't believe it. Like, if I was him and I saw that, I would be like embarrassed how I'm portrayed. He was
it's not
mean.
Glenn
mean.
Howerton crushes it too. He's so good in it.
When the one guy from Palm Pilot says to him something like, you work out? Yeah. Why is everybody I see at the gym's either real fat or real bald? And he's just like, whoa. So mean. But he was our Steve Jobs. We had Nortel. We had it. Then we lost it.
Yeah,
We
lost
had
it.
Briex.
Yeah,
We had it. We lost it. And then we had Rim.
we never really had it, Briex. But we
That
did
was
lose
a
it.
global mining superstar for a
Yes.
moment of time till that guy fell out of the helicopter. That's when you know it's not going good.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, I think our mining company's fake. We should go fly over it in a helicopter. Okay, you're the CFO, right?
That's what happened.
That's what happened, man. They threw their CFO out of a helicopter.
You're not allowed to do that.
Or he fell out. Sorry.
Frowned upon?
Allegedly, in my opinion.
There's a different way to let go people, I think, but maybe in the mining business, it's a little bit more.
Getting choppered?
Yeah. I got a chopper in the car.
all right, guys.
Well,
All right.
Did we bore you enough?
No, didn't bore me at all.
Did
but
we hit all 7 subjects?
No, only
was
four.
Briex on there?
So we missed on 3.
Rapid fire.
But I think we could save them for Thursday.
Well, let's see. That's
Rapid fire.
Thursday's 2 days away.
Update on the parking feud on my street.
Okay, we can wait for
That
Thursday.
one,
on
Yeah,
that.
that one can wait. I had 2 hypothetical questions, so they can all.
Ask one of them.
Yeah. That's
So I had Jeff Merrick on ON every day today.
Okay, so flex. Okay.
Yeah, he was awesome, and I asked him the hypothetical.
Did you tell him I'm best friends with Mark McMorris?
No.
Okay. Probably
I
should.
asked him, I said, Jeff, you're a hockey historian. I said, if I gave you a time machine and said you could either go back and watch an NHL game from 100 years in the past or go forward and watch one 100 years in the future,
Not close.
which one would you pick?
not even
Not
close.
close.
Not even close.
Future.
To me either.
Future?
Yeah.
Easy.
100%.
100%.
Future one, yeah?
I like your answer. I want to copy it.
I'm gonna go pass. You just smoke a dart in the
Oh,
stands
that's
and
what he
get
said.
a scotch going, wear a suit with a beautiful hat,
the feather in it.
no glass.
Dressed like a dandy.
Your
That's
stats
not what
right.
they're doing 100 years in the future.
It's all.
Cigarettes?
I
You
know,
show up in a
you got
zoot
chip-
suit?
You got a chip in your head, and you just like press a cigarette, and you get released a bunch of
Oh,
nicotine into
yeah.
your system.
I just imagine the
What if
Zins will
you
have
hate
100
it?
years from
Have
now.
you guys seen those like tables now, which is like the future of watching sports, where it's like the TV at the one end and on the table is actually like a
3D
holographic
players, yeah.
3D players,
Yeah.
and you're watching the game like almost a
What's it
little
called?
bubble
Directional
hockey
computing
tournament
or something?
Yeah, if
Yeah.
they're
Damn.
like a little bubble hockey table. What if it's that and you're just depressed and you're
Yeah,
like,
I want my
maybe
goal
it's not as
judge
easy as it's
standing on the back
Wear a
of the
nice-
net with a dart,
Yes.
saying goal or no.
thought.
in a
Like
trench coat.
three-piece- oh, was it?
So Jeff Merrick gives this great, like, 5-minute answer on, I would go back. There was like a game in like 60 something between Czech Republic or whatever and the Soviet Union. And he like tells this great story about it. And it's this deep history. And then he ends it. And I go, I would have picked a game in the 20s so I could smoke a cigarette. And he just kind of like looked at the screen and then laughed.
He's like, you could in the 60s too, kid.
Yeah.
And at one point, Jeff Merrick let the tats show a little bit.
Oh yeah, he's tatted right up.
Full sleeves, full on sleeves on him.
I don't like it.
It's a little bit
like when
funny.
I found out Gord Steinke had sleeves, I was like, no, I don't like it.
Yeah, but he's a badass, right?
But I trust them
on the weekends to his band gigs.
Yeah, but like I trust him. I didn't know the tats are scary. He's a bad boy.
I love shit like that.
All right, that's a wrap. Good episode, everybody. Talk to you on Thursday.
We didn't get to answer the question.
Yeah, we all did. Was it you?